gay. It shouldn't matter, but when people do that, it makes it seem like something's wrong with being gay. We love you, a bi woman. First and foremost, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being gay. And I say this all the time. Like, it's funny how like weak men think calling someone else gay is like an insult, or calling someone a woman an insult. Like, first of all, women are strong as shit. Second of all, like, if I was gay, I'd be the prize. Like, eh, I'm unapologetically who I am, and so if I was gay, I would be proud of it. So, like, coming up and calling me gay, like, it's fucking weird. I don't understand you guys. Also, W's in the chat for Muzan. Hey Muzan, for the $10 donation, saying, call me Mizu. Mizu. Oh, Mizu. Okay. Japanese for water. $10 donation in advance for the crash out. You rock. I love watching you handle these people. They've already crashed out. It's wild. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Brent, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Brent, you're not going to crash out or slur or anything like that, are you?
No, not at all.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to have a genuine debate.
Okay. Me too. Perfect. All right. You know what? I got a bunch of stuff on the background. You can pick the stuff on the background. You can tell me if you think something wrong, or I'll even take whatever you want to talk about. At this point, as long as you're not crashing out and slurring, I'll talk to you about whatever.
I just agree that there's problems on both sides. You know, okay. I just feel like we just need to all come together, political backgrounds, ethnicities, whatever it is, and just come together as, you know, human beings to, you know, fix our own nation. Our own divide is what causes a lot of our problems. There's racism on both sides. There's violence on both sides. I disagree with
that one. Well, no, I agree with that. Okay, hold on. So,
well, the racism side, I mean, you have Democrats that have called, you know, African Americans monkeys. I mean, you had our own president go in front of Congress at a time, Biden, and you know, he wanted to separate black people. He wanted to make sure black people didn't want to be in, you know, I mean, even up to the point.
That's not true. But see, let me say this.
Let me him saying that.
No, it's not. I mean, I already know what you're talking about because like he's been misquoted or whatever. People don't understand the actual context of what he's saying. Like, I don't care. We can talk about that in a second. But what I do want to talk about is like, I want to tell you what I agree with you with first, right? So I definitely agree that we should be uniting, right? Because the actual issue is not left versus right; it's up versus down. And the idea that like millionaires, but specifically billionaires should exist is mind blowing. And I say this all the time: no matter if you are a billionaire on the left, a billionaire on the right, you're a billionaire. You're going to be fine, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But even more than that, right? You can talk about racists being on both sides of the aisle. I agree, right? I mean, there's racist people that vote right. There's racist people that vote left. But when you talk about like black people and people of color, the reason why they overwhelmingly vote for the left is because they vote for harm reduction and they vote for progression, right? That's the only way that we're going to have any type of real change here within our country.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but then when you talk about the right, question for you, who do you think the Triple K voted with?
I honestly think they went more Republican, even though I'm Republican. Yeah. I do.
What about the Proud Boys?
I believe that. I believe Republican as well.
What about the Boogaloo Boys or the Oath Keepers?
That one I'm on the fence.
It was the right. They're loud about it. What about like the self-proclaimed Schnazis?
That is definitely more right.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that, like I agree that there's races on both sides, but the right becomes a safe harbor for those actual people who are openly and adamantly racist.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that because the reason why, see, my political view is different than a lot of other people's political views. Mm-hmm. And when I'm looking at, see, I voted Republican because I felt like we need, not because of, it didn't matter if it was Trump, it didn't matter who the hell it was. Basically, most of the time, a Republican that comes into presidency has a business aspect of stuff to help grow America, help, do a lot of things. But the problem is, too, they don't have that concept of everything else that's going on in the world. It's mostly just being the biggest powerhouse, being the best. And I just, I see exactly your point on a lot of things because I'm from California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we mostly Democratic state.
Mm-hmm.
I see the problems. I'm not saying all Democrats are an issue, but like Newsom, he has great policies on certain things, but on the other side of stuff, it's like his policies, he doesn't give a shit about the people.
Yeah.
Newsom himself, he's filthy rich. I mean, he owns a bunch of businesses. He's made a lot of money off of California itself for his own self. And, he's done a lot. But the thing is that what I like about Newsom, and I have no issue with him, is because he unites people, like when it comes to it. So, there is more violence on a Republican side because, basically everybody wants to defend themselves and, everything like that. And they think just because you can hold a gun, you can, shoot. But Democratic states are the same way. They don't have gun control that to that extent. It's more common sense.
Not true. Look at New York.
But it's ran by Democrats.
Yeah, but there's more gun control in New York. Like technically, cities tend to have more gun control versus rural areas, and those blue
Oh,
cities
yeah.
have
No, you're
more
right.
overall control. But what? Let me say this.
But I
What if
come
I
from a
told you?
crime infested state that is ran by a Democrat.
Okay, yeah, I hear
See,
you.
I live
What
in
What
San
if I tell
Francisco.
you though? Like over the last 55 years, um, the perpetuation of the Republican Party being like good for business or jobs or anything is just a myth. What if I told you that?
The Republican side for jobs is just a
Everything,
myth.
everything,
Everything.
like business, jobs, like all of it.
In
This is
what
what I'm saying is
in what
since
sense?
1970,
Yeah.
since 1970, under the Republican Party, the GDP has grown by 0.94%, right?
Yeah.
Under Republican leadership. And since 1970, under Democratic leadership, the GDP has grown by 2.88%, right?
But can't we factor in that?
Oh, there's more. Like you
Yeah.
have to factor all these together because standing alone is a straw man. But once you put it all together, then you understand. But since 1970, the total amount of jobs created under Republican leadership is 27 million jobs. The total amount of jobs created under Democratic leadership is 61.2 million jobs. The stock market performance under Republican leadership since 1970, the stock market has gone up 793.28%. Under Democratic leadership, the stock market has gone up 2,228.57%. The average unemployment rate under Republican leadership is 6.6% since 1970. And in that same time frame, under Democratic leadership, it's 5.84%. Under Republican leadership, 7 different recessions have started. Under Democratic leadership, 1. As far as Republican leadership throughout Congress since 1970, there's been 372 criminal indictments of Republican leaders since 1970. In that same time frame, it's only been 3 Democratic leaders. And don't forget the cherry on the top. Since 1970, there's been 34 counts of felonies for United States presidents on the Republican side, and on the Democratic side, there's none. Now, as the caveat for that is Donald Trump has all 34, but to kind of drive the point home, the Republican Party has propagandized the strong leadership and growth and all this other stuff, but since the 1970s, the numbers say they're just not good at what they do.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. also too, Democrats are the number one to bail out a lot of the corporate companies when
I
it
agree.
comes down to certain things. So those job statistics can stay in place due to, you know, them always bailing out everybody, giving money to all these other countries. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, like I do agree that you can talk about like under Barack Obama, he
yeah,
bailed out the banking industry, the airline
automotive.
industry, the automotive, the housing. He could have let those collapse.
Yeah,
But if he would
and I
have,
don't
then it would have been
disagree.
really bad for the country.
I don't disagree on, see, I have a different perspective view because, my background, I'm a government contractor
Hmm.
and I do a lot of government work, and
Hmm.
under any, you know, president or, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter, there are good basis on both. I just look at it more as I I see the Republicans on a business factor of certain things, and then also too, with Democrats, like I said, just for California itself. See, I'm just basing it off of, what I've experienced in my own state
Hmm.
of, you know like illegal immigrants coming in. I
Hmm.
don't mind that at all,
And
as long
undocumented,
as,
friend.
yeah, my parents came as an illegal immigrant, so I'm not
Sure, but
against that in any
undocumented.
type.
We just
Yeah,
want to make sure that we aren't being dehumanizing.
exactly. And my dad came here from Portugal with nothing, and my dad's a Democrat, and he has always been, because when he came to the U.S., he flourished, in California and stuff like that, and it was under Democratic side of stuff. And I kind of am on both ends of it, but the only thing that I see your numbers, I really do. And
Hmm.
then it actually puts a few things into perspective, because honestly, I should have looked at the numbers more than you know what I have been, because you are correct. There's been a lot more jobs on that side of stuff with Democrats,
Yeah.
but
So, and the thing that I don't want to perpetuate is that the Democratic Party is some virtuistic party that actually does well overall. I mean, personally, I think on a local level, prior to Donald Trump, local level Republicans did better with managing the areas locally versus on a national level. But
yeah,
since Trump, like even local Republicans have faltered, right? So I think there's a huge difference, but like I think it's a little bit I don't want to call it disingenuous, but like it's like dang it, what's the word? Not entitled. Maybe entitled. It's a little bit of privilege, I guess, for you to sit in a blue state, right? A safe blue state, California, which has the
they're
largest.
not safe at all. I mean, you can say it has the largest economy. You
Well,
can
safe.
say
Not.
it,
I'm not talking about crime. I'm talking about safe in the sense that it has the largest economy in the U.S. right, fourth in the world, but also it's a country where like rights are codified into law, whether it's abortion rights. The minimum wage is above the national level.
it's
Access
above the
to
national level
resources,
because
and
everything is extremely expensive out here. I mean,
I
gosh
agree.
dang, our taxes are through the roof. Our sales
Yes,
taxes are through the roof. Our fuel and gas is through the
I
roof.
agree.
We're going to have to
I mean,
start paying to
I'm
even
not far from you.
drive.
I'm up in Washington State, so like
Oh,
the
I love
entire West
Washington.
Coast. Like
Yeah.
I feel where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Gas is a bitch here as well,
Yeah.
but like the point that I'm saying is, like you, me,
Yeah.
people that live in these blue states, while we may disagree with certain policies of the leaders of these blue states, I think it's a little bit. It would be us living in privilege to compare ourselves to other states within the country. While you may be a Republican, do you want to live in like Nebraska or Idaho or even like Ohio? Are you interested in living in those states where not only is crime higher in those certain states, but you talk about the actual, yeah, the cost of living may be lower, but you talk about like the overall life expectancy, quality, education, like earning potential, all of those things are way lower in those blue states. So I'm
No,
sorry, in
I
those red states versus blue states. Holy smokes. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
take
I
a shot
totally
at
get that.
Iowa like that.
No, I totally get that. The thing
Ohio.
is like with I'm privileged to, be raised and be from California. I am. I totally respect that. It's a beautiful state. It's great and everything. But also too, when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, because I don't know what part of Washington you live in, because I lived in Seattle for about a year. And, Seattle was great. I loved Seattle. And, but being from like the Bay Area, crime is just like it's sad to say, it's just crime is just a second thought because it just happens. I mean, between Oakland, San Francisco, all the theft, and then the leniency on theft. See, the problem is California almost sometimes, see, like I said, I'm not talking shit about the state, but at the same time, it almost inhabits crime.
Sure.
It comes to a point where are you doing enough crime to even survive here? You
Sure.
know?
Let me ask you this question. Out of the top 25 cities, right? Top
Mhm.
25 cities in the US, how many of those cities do you think are democratically ran cities?
The biggest majority of them are.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Of the biggest cities?
No, not the biggest cities, but the top 25 cities as far as crime.
Oh, it's in Republican cities. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and even more so, I mean, you take a look at the actual states, right? I mean, you have Tennessee, technically Wisconsin, right? Which sucks, but whatever. You got Alaska, you got New Mexico, you have again Michigan, which sucks. You got I'm sorry, Ohio, you got Tennessee, you got Georgia, you got Texas, you got Kansas, like you got Arkansas, you got Louisiana. So you can talk about like the actual cities, or you can talk about the states. But like a
Yeah.
lot of these actual Republican-led states are higher in crime than any of these blue cities or states that you talk about. Now, I will give you Oakland, California, but
Yeah.
Oakland, California is, let's see, one, two, three, four, seven. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, 7, 8, 9. Oakland, California is outside of the top 10.
Yeah. They've cleaned it up quite a bit.
It's
I'm talking about
13,
previous
13 out of
years.
25.
Like recently in the past few years, I give it to Newsom, honestly, for cleaning up California. You know, a lot of crime was happening. It's not really like unsafe where you can't like walk the streets. It's just typical crime where, the city of San Francisco is losing businesses left and right. I mean, they're shutting down everything just because of robberies and, all that stuff. And there's always just that, that typical crime, the influx of drugs. I mean, hell, you can go by like the courthouse and get hypodermic needles. I guess it's to keep it more sanitary, but at the same time there's just a lot of things that could be changed. But I do really see your point on a lot of stuff. I
Right.
mean,
And which, like,
I've never
so,
really talked to somebody like this
yeah.
on this type of aspect of it, so it's actually really nice to
Yeah,
bring stuff
no,
into perspective.
absolutely. And which I'll say this, right? Because again, and like the caveat that I gave, prior to the Trump administration, I felt like Republicans did better on the local level, while Democrats did better on a national level. But like when you take a look at the Trump administration, Donald Trump ran on like these big dreams, right? But never talked about how he was going to deliver any of them. And I mean, you seem like a pretty intelligent, at least a level-headed guy. Prior to Donald Trump being elected as president, did you know what a tariff was?
No, I've heard of them, but we didn't really even put that into perspective of anything with
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
tariffs.
Donald Trump said that he was going to lower prices and bring back jobs by using tariffs. Now, the issue with that is tariffs are inflationary, right?
Oh, it's true.
So once he actually said he was going to put tariffs on everything, he was telling people like, "Hey, I plan on raising all of your prices." And then like the catch 22 to like using tariffs to bring back manufacturing, one, like we're not a manufacturing country. So even if we did say today, like, hey, we're going to become a manufacturing country, it'll take about 10 to 15 years for us to actually fully be able to do that. That's not something we can just flip a switch and start doing, because that's not what we do here. But then outside of that, like we have developed past that, so we shouldn't want to go backwards. But even more, in order to uh, justify utilizing tariffs to entice people to bring back manufacturing, or even to help the actual cost of American goods, Donald Trump would have to put such a massive tariff on everything, the tariffs that haven't even like been levied before. The tariffs would have to be that big in order to make it even beneficial to buy American made goods. So the only thing Donald Trump is doing, even with the tariffs, I think he went up to like 125% on Chinese goods.
Yeah,
Even
it's
with that,
ridiculous.
yeah, but even with that, the only thing that he did was make those Chinese goods more expensive, but they were still cheaper than the American made goods. So he just raised prices for everyone without even accomplishing anything.
It's true.
So I say all that to say Donald Trump made a lot of big, bold promises, but for people who didn't know what those things actually were, like he set all us up for failure.
Yeah, I can agree on that. There's a lot of things I don't agree with. The Epstein files should have came out. We all know he was a friend with him. I mean, let them out. There's no secret to it. I mean, what worse can happen with him being on the list? I mean, they were either friends or in the same circle or associates at some type of time. I agree. Our economy right now is trash, even though it's being rebuilt up, and there's a lot of good things and a lot of stuff coming back to the U.S. A lot of
But
businesses and
it's
jobs will
actually
be
not.
open, but
Like, you know what's funny? Even with Donald Trump, first of all, have you heard Donald Trump talking about like by the end of the year we're gonna have like $20 trillion invested in the US?
yeah,
Okay. So first and foremost, that's larger than most countries' GDP. So
yes,
that's not true, right?
no,
Even some of those countries that he said made those deals, he's saying that some of those countries committed larger amounts than their yearly GDP, right?
that can happen. It's common
Exactly.
sense.
But even more than that, Donald Trump has gotten commitments but not signed any actual deals. And I think that's a key piece that like a lot of Trump supporters don't even think about. Donald Trump has said that, oh, we have this deal, and he'll get people to come to the White House and take pictures and smile and shake hands and say, I'm going to commit this and commit that and commit this, and they don't actually do it. Even like I don't know if you heard the video when Zuckerberg was at the White House, and they were and he got caught on a hot mic because Donald Trump was like, "Hey, how much are you planning on investing in the U.S.?" And he was like, "Oh, we're gonna invest. I think it was like 250 billion or something." Like he said some astronomical number, and Trump was like, "Yeah, that's good." And then they called him on a hot mic with him saying, "Yeah, I didn't know what number you." He was like, "Was that number good enough?" And Trump was like, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, I didn't know what number you wanted me to say." It's because they're not planning on actually doing these things. They're
Yeah.
just saying these things.
No, it's true. I mean, you got like Saudi Arabia saying that they're going to commit, $1 trillion. There's not very
Yeah.
many countries that can even, commit that besides, oil countries in the Middle East, Japan, and, it'd be like China coming and trying to, put money into the United States, or even, Russia itself and things like that. Cause there's not very many places that can even do that. And it's just, yeah, it's kind of it's kind of a little bit, to be honest with you.
Now I gotta kick you. You slurred. Take that word out of your lexicon. That's ableist, and you shouldn't be saying that. You need to completely remove that from your lexicon. Like, what are we doing? W's in the chat for for Kelton, who sent the $5 donation, saying No one should be a victim of pew pew violence, but the way someone dies doesn't erase the way they lived. Exactly. Talking about Charlie Kirk. Exactly. W's in the chat for Marcus, who sent the $5 donation to say Happy Thanksgiving. Love the live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And W's in the chat for Crispy for the 2 jewels over on YouTube. Guys, if anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. I feel like this person's a troll, but we'll see. Or they won't load, either or. I don't know what happened. Yeah, like I think there's a lot of people, especially a lot of older people, who still have that word as far as their lexicon. I'll say this, right? Me growing up as a millennial, and hearing like some of our favorite rappers or whatever, like people say it. It was something where people just like normally said it, and it wasn't a big deal, or like it didn't mean anything malicious. But the thing that I say all the time is when you know better, you do better, right? And so I think there's a huge difference between when there was a shift and people saying like, hey, this is a harmful word. And at that point, people had like a decision. When they start saying like, hey, this is a harmful word, this is something that's harming, it's hateful towards people with disabilities. And there was like an inflection point. Certain people said, you know what? I hear you. I won't say it. And then other people was like, whatever, I'm going to say it. And the point that I always go back to is like, I don't understand why people, like, why is it such a big deal that you have to say that? Right? If people are saying like, hey, this is harmful, this is hurtful, then why do you have to say like, no, I'm going to say this anyway? Like, what are we doing? Is it Tarkin? Are you a Trump supporter? Tarkin, are you a Trump supporter? Okay, drop you down. Yeah, like I don't know. Again, I said this. I think I was on live the other day. Like, there's a couple of words that I enjoy saying. Like, I genuinely enjoy saying, but there's nothing. There's no words that are like I can't give up those words. Like, I don't care who they harm. I have to say those words. Like, it's weird. It's weird. And if I'm going to be honest, you see a lot of privileged white men that do it. And the reason being, though, is because white men are not often told that they can't do something. That's why so many of them like to say the N-word, right? That's why so many of them, they come on here on TikTok Live and they spam the N-word because, one, they know they wouldn't do that in person, but also, two, it's the thing that they've been told, like, you can't say that, you can't do that. And so since they're told that they can't say that and they can't do that, then it just makes them want to say it and do it more. Like, that's what it is. Psycho, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I'm sorry. I hit the button by accident.
Okay, no worries. I'll drop you down. I appreciate it. You think so, Angie? Oh, thank you for the what is that? That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna send you an invite. You come up here and you tell me about it. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. You come up here and tell me about it. I want to know what you got to say. I do. You're not gonna do it though. Why this person is in the request? Why would you think that I would let you back up? Like, it's funny how the weirdos keep coming back as if I'm gonna let them back in, let them back up on the panel. Also, I was going through my block list the other day because shout out to my mods, but my mods block like people, right? And there's certain people that were on my block list, and like there's certain people that I saw, and like RC was on my block list, right? And I was like, why are you guys blocking RC? I unblocked RC. Not because I'm like, oh, RC. No, I unblocked him because I would never platform RC. That's a waste of a block, honestly. Like, blocking RC is a waste of a block. I would never platform him. So why do I even need to have him blocked? I took him off the block list because who cares? But then there's people like Liam. Liam's on the block list, and I kept him on the block list because, fuck Liam. So there's that. If you don't know who RC is, then you are actually doing well in life. If you've never had to hear the hateful shit fall out of his mouth, then you're actually doing really good at life. Yeah, Liam is permablock. Hoodlum, I don't even like. I won't even be on a panel with Hoodlum. So there's certain people that I won't associate with at all. Like, I won't engage. Not only will I not engage with them as far as like platforming them, but I won't even join a panel. Or if they end up on a panel, I end up dropping. So.
My black boy. Oh, my black boy.
Okay. You can turn on your camera? I'm glad you actually came back on your other account, though, so I could block it. Like, shout out to you. Thank you for the galaxy. Shout out to you. I was able to block both of your accounts because you were so stupid. So, there's that. Guys, what I'm thinking is, like, these guys suck. All right? No, they suck. They suck. They suck. Is Parker in any debates? Let's see here.
Hey, Santana.
Hi. Are you a Trump supporter?
The people you're looking for have gone extinct. So I think whatever
They have.
you're doing, man, is working. So keep doing what you're doing.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good one. Hold that thought. Rachel, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Rachel? Yeah. I would like to play a game. Would you mind?
I'm sorry?
I'd like to play a game.
Okay.
Tell me where the lie is. Because, like, I'm calling it, like, MAGA, you guys are the party of violence. Hate is absolutely required to be in the MAGA cult. You're the guardians of the PDF files. The economy is now trash because of Trump. And also, his poll numbers they stink. So can you tell me where the lie is?
I'm sorry. I'm doing something else while I'm talking to you. Wait, you said,
Can you tell me where the lie is, Rachel?
wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me focus. Okay. Can you say it one more time, please? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. All these bad things. That's MAGA.
Oh, party of violence. Okay. So we can go by bullet point. Party by violence of violence. I don't really agree with that.
Why so?
Because that's all I've been seeing from the left.
Be specific.
You have Jasmine Crockett telling everybody to go fight harder and slap people in the face. She said that multiple times. She's called government Abbott, or I forgot his name, Hot Wheels, and she's incited violence plenty of times on CNN.
When did she tell someone to slap people in the face? Like, she did say, the Hot Wheels stuff and whatever,
Yeah,
but I don't know that one.
Yeah, you know what? Here, I actually have videos. Y'all want me to pull it up with my other phone? Hold up.
Sure.
Yeah. So aside, while I'm doing that, aside from Jasmine Crockett, Biden has said that. Kamala has incited
Biden
violence
said
as
what?
well. Give me a second. I'll pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just hold on.
Mm-hmm. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 125,000 likes. Also, there's 1.1 thousand of us hanging out here. If you look up at the top, you see the word follow. That means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. Also, follow the main account. Follow both of them, please, if you don't mind. And if anyone would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. W's in the chat for Nima, who sent a $1 donation, saying everyone in Texas calls him Hot Wheels. LOL. While I will not laugh or I will not engage in that, I can tell you for a fact that people that I know from there, they do say that. I'm not saying that I agree with it, but they do call him that.
Maxine Waters does that as well.
What, call him Hot Wheels?
No, she.
Yeah, we can talk about Maxine Waters in a second.
Yeah, I have a whole
I know
list.
that one.
Basically,
but,
long
like, sure,
story
but
short.
can we go back to Jasmine Crockett? I would love to hear that one.
See, look.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
What are you playing? You said you had direct video from Jasmine Crockett saying slap people in the
Jasmine
face.
is. Yeah. I have more people. That's why I'm looking.
Are you playing some type of compilation video that you have?
Yeah, there's on YouTube. Just type in violence from the left. See, look.
Yeah, I mean,
Look,
you know what the,
hold on.
you know
I'll
what
play
the
it right now.
problem
She's
is?
talking.
Wait, hold on. Stop for a second before you go. You know what the problem is with playing clips?
I'm sorry?
You know what the problem is with playing clips?
That it shows exactly what they're saying.
It's the new word that the people on the right have discovered. It's called context, which is
Oh no,
something that we've always talked about.
I've seen Jasmine Crockett like full context, full video.
Okay.
She's incentivized plenty of times. Sure. Here's.
I mean, this is very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House.
See, it's like that's what she wants to do.
Stop talking. Play it so we can hear it.
By other white supremacists.
Can you start it over?
Know who the criminals are in this country. You can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists.
Okay. So this is a perfect example.
Hold on. Can you stop for half a second? Because one, I actually could you start over, but two, you said she said something about slapping people in the face, and I didn't hear that. But three, I mean, yeah, they're white supremacists, but I would love to hear it over without the interruption.
Here's my question.
Sure.
Why do you guys make this into a white thing? Why can't you talk about the real issue, which is Islam?
That's not.
Why don't you talk about that? Because in the UK,
I spoke to a lady yesterday that actually went through this whole
Australia,
thing,
Canada,
and it's proven that
Japan,
59% of
all of
the
these
actual
countries are being overthrown and invaded by Islam.
Hey, Rachel, that's not true.
That is the one common denominator.
Rachel. Hey, Rachel.
And you guys don't seem to open your eyes to it.
Hello, Rachel. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not true.
It is true.
Literally, it's not. You can go try to find a source. I went through this with a whole nother.
Sure. Look at Nick.
Watch
just
stop
Nick
for a second and let me. Can I finish my sentence? Hey. Let me finish my sentence, please. So I went through all of this with another FBA. Yes, are you FBA?
FBA?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like you're pretending like you don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Are you a foundational Black American?
No, I'm a normal American from California.
Okay, so I went through this yesterday with someone who's an FBA. But anyway, with that being said, they tried to proclaim that the left is more violent and Islamic, ideology is more violent. And we pulled up multiple studies, and all the studies said that since 1990, the proclivity for the right to engage in violence is higher at a rate of like 59%. 59% of all violent crimes have been committed by the right. And then we talk about the actual breakdown of the right. And
have you actually looked at these other countries like the UK, Britain, Japan?
We're not talking about other countries.
They're all going
the
against Islam right now. And you guys are trying to make it seem like a white.
That's fine. But this debate isn't about other countries. This debate is about the United States.
It is about other countries because what's happening in other countries is going to happen here.
Rachel. We're talking about the United States of America. We're talking
about happening in Dearborn, in Minnesota. They live.
Rachel, if you can't actually,
a whole bunch of Somalians.
Rachel, please stop. Seriously, you're crashing, and I don't want to do this. I'm so serious when I tell you I don't want to have to mute you.
This is why Trump won.
I would really like to actually talk to you. Can you act like a normal person, please? I'm saying please, just please be a normal person. Like, I don't know what's happening right now or why you started to crash. There's no need for that. Just because I'm saying things that actually trigger some type of like amygdala response, and
It's
you
not
you
because
don't
you're
have to.
lying. You're lying.
Sure, I can prove everything that I'm saying. You still haven't proved the first
Oh,
claim that you
no,
made.
no, no.
You still haven't.
What?
Play the video of Jasmine Crockett saying slap people in the face. You haven't proven that.
Hold on. Give me a second. Also, too, she stole money from taxpayers.
No. Play the video of Jasmine Crockett saying that she slapped people in the face.
Here you go.
You know, I think.
Give me a second.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you. You okay with punching? You know, I think it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like this dude has to be knocked over the head, like hard, right? Well, I think that you punch. I think you punch.
And she says that plenty of times. It's not.
Yeah, hold on, stop. And I would love to know where that video is from. So can you give? I
Sure,
don't want to
it's on
say. No,
YouTube.
hold on. Just listen for a second. Stop
Oh
talking
my
and
God.
listen. Just listen. You don't even know what I was about to say. What was
It's
I
on
about to say?
YouTube.
What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say?
You don't even know where that's from, and what she say before and after that. Who gives a shit?
That's not
She
what I was
still
gonna
said,
say.
I'm gonna
That's
punch
not what I
somebody
was
in the
gonna say.
face.
You have no clue what I was about to say because
Just
you
look
won't
up
stop
Jasmine
talking.
Crockett,
No,
Ted Cruz.
you
It's
won't
simple.
stop talking, and so you have no idea. I don't want to go randomly look for something. I want you to stop coming off mute. I want you to listen, and I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Now, the thing that I was about to say is I would love to actually be able to hear that video, the unedited version, because it sounds like the video was being played in a loop. When you put things on YouTube, people can put whatever on YouTube. So would you have a source that's not YouTube where I can actually go either read the transcript of what she said or see an unedited video of what she said? Would you have either one of those?
It's on YouTube. I rest my claim. I already you heard it for yourself. There is no like.
I'm not going to let you sit up here and continue to lie and just like rant on and actually like not engage in good faith. I refuse to do that today. Like I refuse. I literally refuse to do that today. Like I absolutely refuse. I'm not doing it. Is that true? Holy shit. Multiple National Guard soldiers shot near the White House in D.C. At least 3 people reported injured. Shooter reportedly still at large. Law enforcement responding across the city. Holy fuck. I'm trying to play this video. Give me a second, guys. Police, Secret Service actively around the White House. Oh, wait. Sorry. Drop that. That's why I wasn't playing. Why is this not playing? So the National Guard troop was shot in the head. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to see if I can get more information about this. It looks like this just happened about 20 minutes ago. So there's police everywhere. And as of 9 minutes ago, the shooter's still on the loose. Where are you watching? I'm on Twitter. Like, for as much as the Bird app is trash, like, this information gets updated here first before like legacy media even sniffs it out. That's why I'm able to actually find this information. It happened at the metro station, 1 mile, hold on, 1 mile away from the White House, around 2:15. So they do have, this just came out. I see someone saying that someone's in custody. It looks like someone is in custody. They're in custody now. This is updated just about a minute ago. This is all that I've been able to find so far. It looks like everything's on lockdown. The White House and the Treasury is on lockdown. There's a heavy police force, multiple victims without knowing exactly what the current condition of those victims are. The pictures are wild. The videos are wild. Yeah, the White House is on lockdown. Wow. All right. As of right now, there are 2 victims, National Guard members. And it's the actual National Guard members that Trump has had deployed patrolling the area. Let's see here. So this comes from the BBC. 2 National Guardsmen shot in downtown Washington, D.C. As of 12:03 p.m., which it's 3:30 p.m. Eastern, because it's 12:07 here. Suspect in custody. DC police taken into custody. They posted it on Twitter. That's what I'm telling you. Like, y'all might not fuck with Twitter, and that's why I call it Twitter instead of X. But I'm telling you, like, people be putting stuff on there like super fast. That's why I haven't gotten rid of my Twitter account. Like, I'm telling you, like when the Charlie Kirk shit happened, that's why I saw it before everyone else, because I saw it on Twitter. They're saying 2 as of now. I know there was some reports of 3, but they're officially going on the record and saying 2. Yeah, it'll always be Twitter for me. It was near the 17th and I Street Northwest intersection in DC. They're still blanketing the area. Everything's still on lockdown. So that's where it is right now. That's the most updates I have at the moment. Sorry, I don't have any more. Yeah, whatever, Kay. It's still gonna be Twitter to me. That's all the information I have at the moment. If you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. Please do not request up. If you're not a Trump supporter, we are only looking for some debates. There was the National Guardsmen that were shot in the head in DC. They were out on the patrol area. I think this is something like, this is the danger of weaponizing our military and using them as pawns. When you create a militarized state, then people tend to push back on that, whether it's, people that are sane or insane. I don't even know if I was supposed to say it like that, but, people that are, imbalanced or whatever. But like, when you create such a hostile condition, people start to push back. And I think this is like, you're inciting violence when you try to have like a show of force. When you put a show of force in people's homes, people are going to respond. Like, people are absolutely going to respond. So, like, I don't have all the details and I don't know all the information. One thing that I do know, though, is that having people live in a military state is dangerous for everyone, period. If you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. Hey, Blackbird. You think this opens up the door for Trump to justify a lot of stuff? How are you a Trump supporter?
I am not, but I have a question. You had said earlier about people that we might have to see for Thanksgiving that are Trump supporters.
Mhm.
And I have a friend of mine that
No. That's fine. Please request back up because I wanted to hear that because I was going somewhere with that before everything just happened. Come back up really quick. Oh, never mind. All right. If you're currently in the box and you're not a Trump supporter, please drop out. If you're currently in the box and you're not a Trump supporter, please drop out. Hi, are you a Trump supporter? Hi, are you a Trump supporter? Okay, I'll drop you down. Party of violence. The answer just got the answer. Sure. Come up here and tell me about it, Artie Art. I'm gonna mute you. Get in the box. Come up here and tell me about the party of violence. It's so you know what's so funny, right? MAGA, you guys are so mediocre that whenever something happens, you immediately think that you know the answer. And it's always so wild that people on the left are like, okay, let's find out what happened. And the right, led by, the president of the United States, immediately start pointing fingers and say, it's the radical left, it's the radical left. And then come to find out it's the absolutely batshit insane right who's been perpetuating violence all along. Like, you guys are so quick to say, oh, it's the left, while not looking to stop and check it for any facts, any information. And then you find out it's people on the right, and then you're on mute. You're hitting the fucking mannequin challenge. You pretend as if nothing happened after you've made yourself look stupid. And to be factual, more than likely it was a white man. And this is not even me just like blaming white men. White men commit the most violent crime in the United States and the most amount of mass shootings. So, like, just statistically speaking, it's more likely a white man. But I could be wrong. I think this is a troll. Hey, you were here yesterday, right?
No, sir. This is my first time.
Okay, yeah, you were. You're a kid. Can't talk to kids. Go eat your Wheaties. Do kids eat Wheaties still? Does anyone still eat Wheaties? Do they still sell Wheaties? God damn it, I just dated myself. I just dated myself. Are there anyone watching the live right now that's in their early 20s that know what Wheaties are? Stop it. Stop calling me old. Said hell not. Yeah. I would never eat Wheaties because that shit's like eating a pine cone or something. Whatever. Don't do me like that. Whatever, Corey. You know what Wheaties are. Don't play me. Yes, Wheaties are cereal. It's like a box of fiber. Yes, it's in the orange box and it have like different athletes and stuff on it. Yes, it's like eating strings. It's more like eating sticks. For the younger generation, they used to tell like me and older generations that we're supposed to have like breakfast. It was the most important meal of the day. And then they would give us a bowl of sugar to eat. Like we would have Lucky Charms or Cinnasmacks or, shout out to the black people. We'd have kabooms. If you know, you know. Chat, if you know, you know. They would tell us like breakfast is the most important part of your day. And then we would sit down and eat a whole bowl full of sugar. He said kicks. Honeycombs, fucking love honeycombs. Fucking love honeycombs. Jack, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Have I spoken with you recently?
No.
It says recent guest. Are you the guy to say, hold on?
Recent guest?
Yeah. Did I kick you for not putting $5 in a hold up jar?
No, I don't know what that is.
How old are you, Jack?
31.
31. Jack, you remember when they used to tell us that like breakfast was the most important part of our day and then give us a bowl of sugar for breakfast?
Sure.
What were they thinking? You're not 31. What year were you born?
94.
Are you lying to me?
I mean, if I can go if you want me to. I don't really need to be up here.
No. I mean, yeah, if you want to leave, you can. But I'm just saying, you sound young. Not like young as far as like too young, but you don't sound 31. You sound like you're in your early 20s. What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Honestly, I like the Honey O's.
You mean honeycombs?
No, the Honey O's.
Are you talking about the Honey Nut Cheerios?
No. They're like, they look like them almost, but they have like honey and like some other type of like, I don't like. They were crispy. Just look them up real quick.
I've never heard of that. Hold on.
They were really good. I think they still sell them.
Honey O's.
Yeah.
Honey O's cereal. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never seen this in my life ever.
Yeah, you should try them.
Honey O's. That's interesting. They look just like okay. They're off-brand Honey Nut Cheerios.
Are they? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you know what? They're made by Post. You know what's funny? Like even the generic and the name brand, and they're all made by the same company in the same thing. They just put them in different boxes and sell them for different prices.
A lot of things are like that.
Fucking capitalism, you know? Hey, did you see the shooting that just happened in DC?
I heard about it.
What do you think?
I don't know what to think. They haven't put out any statements yet, so we don't even know if it's like just somebody doing something stupid or if it was like an attack on, you know.
But you're not jumping to the conclusion and blaming people yet, though, right?
What would I blame?
I don't know. Like I saw someone in the chat basically saying like, "Oh, it's the leftists." I'm like, they haven't even put out any information. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
No.
I think that's super dangerous though. Like when you start talking about anyone targeting like our troops, like people, you know, taking other people's lives is super dangerous anyway. But then when you start talking about like our troops, like that's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you come up to debate?
I kind of wanted to ask you a question about like what do you think about like California's like voter ID laws and stuff?
I don't live in California, so I don't know much about their voter ID. I can pull it up and you can tell me what you know while I pull it up.
So I was reading something, and in California, I think it's called the the Drivers Act. It's Assembly Bill 60. I know that. But basically, if you get a driver's license in the state of California, you're automatically put on a registration for voting. And they also have it to where if you're an illegal immigrant, you don't need any kind of ID proof, social security number, anything when you go in there to get your license.
Yeah. So hold on one second. So just an FYI. So it's not that they have voter ID, because California doesn't have voter ID. And you're saying that once you actually register once you get a license, you automatically register to vote in California.
And it's not completely false. You can pull it up on your screen. I know your chat's saying it is, but it's literally if you're automatically enrolled in voter registration in California, you have to opt out if you don't want to be registered to vote. And
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of states. I know South Carolina's like that as well. That's
well, I
wonderful.
know, but the thing is you don't need any kind of proof of citizenship or anything or legal documentation that you're in California to get your driver's license. And if you get your driver's license, you're automatically put into the system for registration to vote.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Frequent asked questions. California security. Federal law. Completing. No eligible. Are you eligible to vote? Individuals must meet criteria. United States citizen. Have a residence in California, at least 18 years old. Not currently serving state or federal prison. Not currently found mentally incompetent. How do you know if you have U.S. citizenship? Have you been born in the U.S.? Blah blah blah. Have parents? Blah blah blah. Becoming a citizen after birth? Blah blah blah. More information. Can non-citizens register to vote? No. Will I automatically be registered to vote when I apply for or renew my license? Yes, all eligible individuals completing driver's license or ID or change of address transaction will be registered to vote by the Secretary of State unless they choose to opt out of the registration. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Did you just talk to Parker?
Did I just talk to Parker? I haven't. No, I was in his guest queue, but I haven't talked to him. So he had somebody on there on this topic. He's still on there, I think.
So you're telling me that? Okay.
Someone who was just talking to Parker was kind of talking about this, right? I was in Parker's queue. Parker didn't let me up. He was still talking to that dude. They were like the last time, like I just left before I came over here. Like literally, I scrolled down and you popped up. So I was like, I'll just talk to him.
Yeah. So the way this works, though, right? Just because in practicality, yes, but in functionality, no. So while you can obtain an actual driver's license in California without being a documented citizen, you are not a part of that automatic opt-in for the ability to vote. Now,
What's
I will
preventing
say that
that?
the actual registration process, the information that you have to put in to be able to complete it. It's a different type
so
of
what do you have to give them
process. It's a different type of application process when you apply as United States citizens versus the provisional license that are received when you are an undocumented immigrant.
Right, but my question is, for registration in California, for to become a registered voter, you don't need to show any kind of ID. You don't need to show any kind of social security number. You don't have to show a birth certificate. So what's preventing people from getting on the voter registration?
I don't think that's
100% is true.
Register to vote at california.gov. Register to vote now.
I'm gonna speak up for a second. I'm gonna give you my source.
Sure, that's fine. Let's see here. So I'm registering to vote. I'm literally on the site to register to vote in California. And it says U.S. citizen and resident of California. But then like there's a bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna pick say U.S. member of armed forces, National Guard, blah 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 blah. Okay, perfect. Let's say U.S. citizen, resident of California. Next. Yes, California, 18 years old. I have to put in information, birthday, place of birth, identification. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Like literally with the registration process right here, you have to put in not only your if you have an identification card, you have to put that information in. But if you do not have an identification card, you have to put in your social security number. So that's not true. W's in the chat for Maga Cries, who sent the $2 donation to say, I'm 34 years old, and I'll go to battle for some Cheerios or cornflakes. I will too. My grandmother used to make cornflakes for me, and then she would like cut up bananas and sprinkle a little bit of sugar on it as well. You couldn't tell me I wasn't in heaven. Shout out to my grandma. W's in the chat for Maga Cries. W's in the chat for Smoothie, who sent the $1.99 super chat to say, we know Wheaties for a reason. Wait, we know Wheaties for a reason. We're 38 years young. That's right. That's absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. W's in the chat. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything except anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Jack, you have to come back. If not, it's going to drop you. I have to come back. If you don't, it'll drop you.
Can I go back in? Because I was on the website. I'm looking.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
give
can
you
go
the
back
website
now.
and everything. I just want to.
Yeah, you can go back now. You just have to check back in, or if you don't, it'll drop you. Guys, should we give Jack some music? How about we give Jack some music?
We're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I want to talk about it, but I'll be late for work.
All right, I'm going to stop that. Let's give him this. Jack is still away. Jack is still away. Hello from the other side. Have I heard of Grape Nut cereal? I think so. I think I have. Hey, real quick, can everyone do me a favor? There's 1,000 people right here. Can everyone that's watching that, if you see follow up at the top, can you hit the follow button? But if also follow the main account. You guys haven't been following the main account today or like lately at all for any reason. Please follow the main account. This is the main account. Show the main account some love. Follow the main account, please. Thank you to everyone that's following. I see a bunch of people following. Holy smokes. I'm gonna start calling names. Let's see. Hold on. Katrina, thank you so much for the follow. Who else? Hold on. Who else follow? I don't see. Gleese, thank you for the follow. Poe Bear, thank you for the follow. Let's see. Josie, thank you for the follow. You follow both. Thank you so much, Brittany, for following both. Yep, White House on. Yeah. Lori, thank you for the follow. Hey, Kabira. Peggy, thank you for the follow. Jack, you got to remember to come back in. Tammy, thank you for the follow. William, thank you for the follow. Dwayne, I don't have 4 accounts. Stall me out, Dwayne. Stall me out. How are you, Kabira? How are you doing today? Sierra, are you a Trump supporter? Sierra Brown, are you a Trump supporter? Stroker, thank you for following both accounts. I don't think Jack's trying to run. I think Sierra's trying to run. I don't think she knows how to run, though. Mark, thank you for following both. Jack, you got to come back in the count, bud. I know for a fact that they are gonna. Hey, Carolina. Yeah, Trump is absolutely gonna try to use the Insurrection Act. Like I'm positive, positive. Trump is gonna try to use the Insurrection Act now. We knew Jack was gonna run. Jack used that to run, guys. No, Jack wasn't coming back. Jack was not coming back. Dwayne, you are right. My bad. Yeah. All right, guys. I like this is a shorter live, but also like oh, I want to do something really quick. Really quick. We're gonna really quick. If you are someone that's going to be dealing with Trump MAGA in-laws over this holiday weekend, and you would like to have something as a debate tactic, if you wanna say like, hey, Santana, I'm gonna have to talk to my MAGA loving uncle, and he always says this. What should I say? Get in the box. If you're someone that's gonna have to deal with like a MAGA supporting family member over this holiday weekend, and you want a little bit of help, go ahead and request up, and I'll try to give you my best advice as far as how to deal with certain situations. I'll talk to a few people, so if there's a couple of people that have MAGA family members, and you want some advice as far as if you're trying to debate them, if you're trying to debunk them, if you're trying to just like shut them down, whatever the case may be, if you got a few people, go ahead and get in the box, and I'll answer a couple. Hey, Butterfly Effect, do you have MAGA family?
Oh, sadly enough, both of my parents are massively mega, and I'm an only child, so I'm kind of on my own here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
That makes
sucks,
it
and I
interesting.
did not grow up that way. It's just been the whole brainwashing of the mega party, sadly. Sorry, I have
So
house
what did
construction going on, so if you hear
Oh, good.
something.
What did they tell you? Why are they Trump supporters, and like, what do you hear from them the most?
So I constantly try to give them like your guys' advice with like links and things like that, but they always tell me the media is lying, the media is lying. And I'm like, well, who isn't? Like Newsmax and things like that. And so, sorry, that's what they always go to is like, yeah, it's owned by a Canadian company, just different things like that. Constantly just trying to skate around the fact saying that you're brainwashed and you're just watching media. And when I try to tell them, well, I actually dig for my sources and I learn from people on TikTok and things, they always tell me, well, TikTok's not a source. And they don't understand because they're not from the generation.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any advice?
Yeah. Give them international sources.
Oh,
Try
okay.
BBC, Al Jazeera, right? If they're so consistent about like, oh, we need actual sources, but we can't depend on sources within the U.S. because it has biases. Go to BBC and Al Jazeera. Both of them are central and are centered. Sorry, centered. They're both respected, and you can also show them. Have you ever heard of All Sides?
I haven't.
So, All Sides is an independent grading entity for all media,
Okay.
and it grades the biases of all media. You can go to All Sides, and you can even take like an article and put it in All Sides, and it'll tell you where the biases lie. It has like bias ratings for whether it's like print or I don't want to say video, but TV or whatever. But then also, have you heard of Ground News?
No, actually, I haven't.
Yeah, so Ground News is similar, except like it gives you like depending on the story, it tells you like the leanings of like the sources, and then it gives you like a center leaning source that you can use if there's like biases. So like
Oh,
present them
that's the
with the
one
opposite.
Andrew Callahan always talks about from Channel 5 News, right? Okay.
So
Okay.
the thing that I would draw home to them is they talk about like what's happening in the country, and yes, you can say that the country is like the country is split or whatever, but when you talk about other countries and other media sources from outside of other countries, they're unbiased. They're just literally trying to chronicle what's happening here in the US. You can even tell them about how like there's actual historians, like fascist historians who are actively tracking the Trump administration because of the amount of actual fascistic actions they've taken. And they're chronicalizing it or chronicalizing it for history because they don't think it'll happen here in the US.
Wow. Okay. That's great to know. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a great holiday.
You as well.
Can you kick me? I don't know how to drift off.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Yeah, if there's anyone else that has like MAGA in-laws, MAGA parents, MAGA friends, MAGA whatever, if you will be around MAGA people this holiday weekend and you want to get a little bit of advice, any tips, any information on how you either talk to them, if you want to debate them, if you want to debunk them, anything from any of you about like, hey, I got a MAGA grandma and she says, make America great again. What should I say to that? If anyone else is interested, you can get in the box and I'll answer a couple more questions. If not, I'll call it. Hi,
Hey,
Ted.
Santana.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have MAGA family, MAGA friends, MAGA in-laws?
Yeah, I have a MAGA brother, and he's like way older than me. I have a degree in political science, so I try to come with him with like political scientific like information and studies, but that's not really what he listens to. He's kind of just like,
Podcasts?
yeah, he just listens to podcasts. He listens to his friends. He's like in like the car scene, so they're all like super big MAGA Trump supporters. So it's kind of whatever's popular for him. It's kind of where he goes. So I'm just wondering, like, he's usually pretty big on like tariffs and things like that. And when I come to him with like a scientific perspective, it's not really something he listens to.
Yeah, just ask him what is Rogan saying lately about Trump.
What does Rogan say?
What is Rogan saying lately about Trump? Joe Rogan has made a complete 180 on Donald Trump, and he's been consistently calling him out on his BS. Now, I don't necessarily buy it because Joe Rogan actually pushed Trump and where he is and propelled him. But point him towards Joe Rogan, Adin Ross, Theo Vaughn. All three of those, white men were huge proponents for Trump prior to the election, and all three of them now are just like fuck this guy.
Yes, I think honestly that's a really good idea. I should probably just like point him out. Like, have you seen his latest podcast? Because I have been seeing they're doing like a whole 180 and trying to do like damage control almost. So I think that's a good way to start. Yeah, it's mostly just.
And I don't think your brother's gonna listen to you because you're his sister. So.
Yes, and his little sister. So it's kind of just like there's like a dynamic as well. Like he's older and he also just like I feel like he's in an echo chamber as well with all the people he's around.
There's like a gym bro pipeline.
Yes.
Does he work out a lot?
Yes, he is super big in that gym scene. He's very. I wouldn't even. He'll try and like when the election came around, he tried to test my knowledge. Like, oh, you're voting for Trump, right? Like my little sister knows everything about political science. Like, you're voting for Trump, right? And I was like, no. And I was like, he's gonna put in like Supreme Court justices that are going to overturn Roe v. Wade. And immediately he like hung up the phone and was like, I don't want to hear this. So it's kind of whenever I go that route where I'm like, ooh, like let me put in a little bit of logic, a little bit of facts. It's not something he listens.
Tell him that Trump is doing rug pulls with meme coins, and
that's a good
everyone
one.
else is making money except Trump is making money, and he's destabilizing the crypto market. Ask him if he knows about all the crypto investors who have recently taken their life because of the rug pulls.
Ooh, rug pulls. Okay, that's a good one because he's super big into like the crypto scene and whatnot. So I think this is something he would actually listen to. That's kind of like the main thing. He's not super far right, but he's just kind of with whatever is like mainstream.
He's a bro.
Yeah, he's a bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all the questions I have. In the future, I am an immigration paralegal, and I have heard sometimes some people come up and they're talking about like, say for example, employment-based visas like H-1Bs and things like that, and they might not seem too informed. So if you're ever like in that situation, I'll definitely be willing to come up and like actually explain the immigration process to some people if it's like the employment-based route. Because I know you have the family-based and the borders, you have that stuff down. But when you get in the weeds a little bit, yeah, I'm definitely here. Been a paralegal for a couple years now.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Santana. I appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving.
Guys, we're talking to people. If you have MAGA family members, MAGA brothers, cousins, aunties, uncles, whatever, if you have to deal with MAGA family members over this holiday weekend and you want some advice, either you're trying to debate them, debunk them, shut them down, whatever the case may be, if you want to get some information about what to do, get in the box. I'll answer a couple of questions. I am here to lend any support. Here to lend any support. Hey, still loading. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You have MAGA family members?
I don't think they'll outright admit they are, but very, very much so in that same mentality or mindset.
If you say like, hey, who ran for the 2024 election? Do they say Trump and Kamala or Trump and Kamala?
Kamala for sure. But okay. I think like even being people of color, like there's a few people that I think of, but as people of color or even women would still be hesitant to think of Kamala. And so that's why I feel like they won't admit it. They don't want to maybe use the label MAGA, but we'll sit here and give unfair expectations to her or criticisms to her, but not of Trump. But before any of that, like, thank you obviously for doing all of this and in using your time and sharing your resources. I guess the two things that I think of that'll probably be conversations will be SNAP benefits and food assistance. Very much so hearing well, there's so much abuse. There's so much this. I know people that are abusing it. And if I've seen it, then it has got to be as widespread as what I've seen. And another one, which I don't know how much like TikTok will let me like say. Sorry.
Stop on that one for a second. Tell them, ask them if they know about PPP loans. And
okay.
You know what a PPP loan is?
Not off the top, no.
Okay. So the PPP loan was the emergency loans that were given out during the pandemic. And a lot of the PPP loans were taken advantage of by not only people with business, but ultra wealthy millionaires, to supplement like payroll and all this other crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with the fraud that is found in the PPP loans versus the SNAP benefits, I think SNAP benefits is like less than 3%, and PPP loans is like it was like close to like 20% or something crazy. Like it's a large gap. But the point being, you want to look up and get the exact numbers. But the point being is there's other metrics and indicators of actual fraud. And even when you talk about SNAP benefits, there are multiple ways for detecting and finding fraud. And overall, it's a very safe process. And last but not least, like, just because a few people do some fucked up shit doesn't mean that everybody should have to suffer.
Like, that's where I've always come back to it. Is where I've expressed like, hey, you may have seen something, but that doesn't mean like that there are not people that benefit from it. And so like the argument is always like, well, a few rotten apples will ruin it for the bag. And so like I feel like I align more empathetically than these people do. When they tell
you they're like, oh, I saw people doing it, and you should say, did you turn them in?
Yeah.
I say no. All right, well, you're just as bad. You're an accomplice. Like, you can't complain if you're going to be an accomplice. Like, either do something or stop complaining.
Yeah. That which totally valid. The other thought that I had, again, I don't know like how much you can express, would be like any data behind trans athletes. I don't know if you saw like yesterday there was an article about an athlete like that had been, I guess, had not disclosed their transition and won. And so like my perspective has always been like, this is a very, very minimal, like 1% of population, like, and there is not enough data to talk about like advantages or disadvantages when we're talking about like
There is though.
transitional. And well, from what I've seen, it is not like there's nothing that is proved like once people have been
So
on.
most common studies, yeah, after like 2 years of consistent treatment, most people lose like muscle mass. They
Mhm.
the bones become weaker. Like there's no
And that's what I've
no
seen.
actual exactly. There's no actual substance advantage as far as like a transgender person being in sports versus whoever
Hmm.
else.
And that's
But
what I've seen. And I've come back into like again like the data that we have, right, is only based off of a very, very, very small percent, right? There's not a huge percent of trans athletes. And so like the argument always just comes back to like the typical biology, like what is biology? What is, and so like that's always a very tough conversation, I guess, for me, because again, like I lead with like again these are people, these are not like we're not trying to invalidate who someone is or to further I don't know how to say like segregate people, you know. I'm a parent with a child who has special needs, so like I already understand how these small groups of people can already be segregated and put into their own category and left out of the conversation or discriminated on. And so like it's a very rough conversation, I guess, for some.
Yeah, I agree. And even more so, I'll say like one thing that you can like if you want to hit him with a zinger, let him know that Donald Trump has more credible accusations of SA than there are transgender women in women's sports.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would feel more safe with any trans woman, trans man than I would a cisgendered white man. I mean, I would feel safer in a trans community than I would in a church. You know, so it's
I think the way that you
statistically
go
it's
about
crazy.
this, yeah, and the way that you go about this is just let them know like you've been propagandized, and this is the conversation I have with them all the time. Like, Donald Trump spent $215 million in his run up for the presidency on anti-transgender ads, right? And transgender people are less than 1% of the population.
Yep.
Kamala Harris didn't talk about transgender people. Donald Trump spent $215 million on less than 1% of the US population to use them as a boogeyman to scare you. And like more than likely you've met transgender people and you never knew. And so just the idea, it's all propaganda. Like it's not an issue with transgender people. It's literally they're being used as a boogeyman and your parents are falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah. And I think like what I always like have the conversation about is like with children. So like I don't want my children to grow up training so hard to then be put up against someone who may have quote unquote taken the easy way out. And so like that is the conversation.
Like that's
that's
always a weird statement to me. And like I was talking to a guy one time, he was like, well, if you had a daughter, would you want your daughter to lose to a transgender woman? I was
That's
like,
exactly
if she does,
the conversation.
Exactly. But like, and maybe I'm just different, but like, yeah, okay. Then if my daughter lost to a transgender woman, it'd be just like losing anyone else. Like fucking get better. Like get good.
Yeah, and
what are we doing?
That's where when I talk about like you think about like basketball, right? Like you don't disqualify on a women's team if you have a woman that's 5'4" and her teammates are all 6 foot. Like that's a disadvantage there, right? In the sense of like wingspan, jump, like that's all a disadvantage. That's not anything that like she could control or that you would disqualify them for. And so like that's kind of where I come back to is like they lose this advantage that they have by going through this transition. And so like I don't see it being as big of an issue as people are making it. So yeah,
also
those are
I would call out as well, and I've heard a lot of my transgender friends say this, but like no one's just like saying, "Oh, I'm
doing
going to
it for
transition
fun
for shits and giggles." Yeah, because like the way that they're villainized and ostracized and attacked, who would willingly subject themselves to that? Like that makes no sense.
I mean, there's the
Like,
mental aspect of it, right? Like, yeah, you can't even go through
I'm sorry.
to your.
One second.
You're fine.
1 second. Tay Beatty. I know you just said, "Oh, geez, did I just scroll into some transphobia?" You didn't. Maybe you should actually sit back and listen before you comment, and also maybe you should actually realize what space you're in. But no, you didn't. So how about
No, yeah,
before
absolutely
you
not.
get those fingers working too quickly, you just sit back and listen.
Yeah,
Anyway, I
no,
apologize.
and
Go ahead.
no, you're fine. Yeah, very supportive of my community. And so yeah, I think the hardest part for me in the last year or so has been in my communities, whether it's in the LGBTQ plus community or in like the Black community, taking these topics and like having these conversations with family members, with friends, and being like, they're going to continue to pick on these small marginalized groups, and at some point it's going to come back to one that you're in.
And I say this
And
all the
it,
time. Like the reason why people do that is because more than likely they don't know these people in these marginalized groups, and it's easier to vilify people that you don't know. Because if you actually know these people, then you have to humanize them. Thank you for the bubbles. Thank you, Kabira. You have to humanize these people if you know them, and so it's that most people don't know transgender people, and so that's why it's so easy for them to actually vilify them. But if they got to know them, I ask the question all the time, like, "Hey, how many transgender people do you know?" Because if you knew these people, they're just people. They're just people that want to live just like everyone else, and they're just being vilified.
Yep. Nope. So yeah. One last question, I guess, is I don't know if maybe like in your direct like community or your direct like circle, like how hard have these conversations been with other Black people, like in your family or other groups, queer people? Like, how do you navigate and maybe like try to have those conversations?
For me, I have the most tough time talking to Black men that are Trump supporters. I know, like, I don't know if my brother Zeus is still here. I don't know if he wants to come
Oh,
up
I
for
love
like
him.
half a
Yep.
second and talk to him. Like
I
Zeus does
listen to
it
him all
really
the
well.
time.
Zeus does it really well with talking to black men that are they're Trump supporter. Like Black, I just can't do it. Like I crash out every single time. Like Black men are just the ones I can't talk to them. But Zeus, like
Oh
Zeus
yeah, I
can
listened to
talk
you
to them.
two
I
are the
can't do it.
two. Yep. I listened to the
What
two
up,
of you
bro?
very heavily. And I can't think there's a couple that Zeus will typically bring up, like Q Dog, I think is one of them, and a few, and you guys always navigate it so like eloquently and so level headed that I wish like I was able to
Yeah.
really
Hey,
fire
Zeus.
off like you guys do.
For sure. Zeus, I was wrapping up my live, but I know we have like the holidays coming up, and so I was giving people an opportunity to come up if they have like MAGA family members that they have to deal with over the holiday weekend, if they want to get like debate tactics, advice, like whatever. And I was running through a couple of things, and her last question was like, how do you deal with Trump supporters that are within your community, like, you know, Black people or whatever? And I was just saying, like, I can't deal with Black, like, I'm really bad with them, but I know you're really good with it, so, or with them. Do you have any advice as far as like reaching those people that are in your community that are Trump supporters versus like outside of your community?
Well, first of all, well, good greetings, bro. Nice checking in with you, Danica. You too. Happy holidays and all those festivities. But you know, I don't want to hold you up. But I'll say this: I have two. I have two sisters, and they're Trump voters. So this is an ongoing thing, and it's so weird because on one side, if there's something that goes on with like my grandma or a relative, I have to deal with them, you know, because she's up there with age. And so there's that understanding that you're going to have to interact with some people, others you can cut them off. But then on the other side, I know that they are wrong. And so what I've learned is I pace myself. I don't try to unload on them all at once. But I do keep the pressure on them whenever I'm around them. Like, you know, if I say hi to them, I always make sure I bring up something that Trump is doing, and I try to help them understand it's going to hurt them. And you know, I feel good knowing that I said that to them at the end of the day, and I'm not letting them off the hook because I'm a patient person, and I do believe in eventually, you know, if you don't want to face the truth, you get smacked with the truth. And so what you're watching happening is some people are already leaving MAGA, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene is a great example. And it's slowly unraveling, and you have an opportunity to be front row to it, because as it continues to happen, you can narrate it to them. But eventually they're going to have to tap out. So I would just encourage you to be patient. Don't let them rile you up, because the truth is on your side. It's on our side. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
keep understanding that this isn't. You're not going to win the game in the first quarter. This is going to be 4 long quarters. Pace yourself,
Yeah.
okay, and then just watch them self-destruct. That's the best advice I got. And keep coming around communities like this. What Santana is doing, what all these other folks like yourself are doing, just constantly talking about it, getting the information out there. Believe it or not, I really do think we've helped get his poll numbers back to reality.
I agree.
So having these conversations, because a lot of us aren't into politics, like we're not politicians, but I do think we have a responsibility as citizens. And part of that is we have to continue to speak up and speak out against this stuff. Sorry for going on so long, but that's my
No,
thought.
you're good. Listen, like I said, bro, you are way better with them than me, because I crash out first and talk later. So like, there's just certain people. I think again, Zeus is so good with this because he has a lot of patience. When I see people that are part of my community and I'm like, you don't, it doesn't make sense for you to do this, I immediately like jump the shark. But I think he just gave like super sound advice, and like being able to there's an opportunity for you to continue to remind people of these things without like without having to be like a not necessarily a combative environment, especially if it's family members. Like, he has a unique perspective. I don't have family members that are MAGA, but like, that's very unique.
Yeah. Nope. And I appreciate both of your feedback. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, listen, bro, you got any plans for the holiday? And later, Danica, you got any plans for the holiday before I get up out of here?
No, listen, I'm just gonna be around. Doing what I do. Did you see the news about the National Guard in DC?
Oh yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think?
I was saying, like, this is what happens when you create like a militarized state, right? You put people in this type of environment, and it creates like a powder keg. And it's something where we don't know all the details as far as the why or what or whatever, but I do know once you start to like militarize a state, and you throw like your authority in the citizens' faces, like, there's going to be things that happen. So while I'm still waiting to see what the other information is, like, it's not shocking. And for anyone that's asking, 2 National Guard members were shot in the head in DC. And apparently they are both deceased now. We're waiting on getting more information. The White House is on lockdown. The Treasury is on lockdown. It's a lot of crazy stuff happening. But like, this is what happens when you actually promote this type of environment. It's dangerous for everyone.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know they had, unfortunately passed away.
Yeah,
and,
that just happened.
Honestly, that really does break my heart, because in the back of my head, because the first thing is I want to get all the facts before I rush to judgment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sitting here saying, because a lot of the things Donald Trump said, they play through my mind all the time. And I think I heard him bragging recently that there was no crime in Washington, D.C.
He said in the last, he said 6 years. He said something like really wild. He said no murders within the last 6 months or so. He said something insane.
Correct. And so you layer that, and then we've already been through this with the Butler incident. We've been through this with the other one that he had in Mar-a-Lago. We've been through this with Charlie Kirk. And every time they come out, I start to now time it, right? The first people to come out and say it's the folks on the right, I already know maybe they're a fake account now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be what they try to do. And then a few more weeks later, as more information comes out, we start finding out, oh, these are the homegrown ones he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see Marjorie Taylor Greene literally fighting for her life right now on X, and she's not fighting with Democrats.
Nope.
Isn't that crazy?
No. Yeah. Listen, that's how they do. I mean, you see Adam Kissinger and Mitt Romney and like Liz Cheney. You see how they've done all of them. So like, it doesn't shock me.
And so going back to what we were originally starting off, this is the conversations that I intentionally have with like my sisters. And be honest with you, all day long, I'm sending them links. Why are you still in the cult? No, why are you still in the cult? I'm like, think about it. We're in a place in America where we're literally arguing about whether or not the president is a P3DO.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that crazy? Like, we shouldn't even be having to have these kind of conversations. If it even is something we got to debate, that says he's not the person that should be in the White House. So they know the end is near, and this is how they're acting out.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, bro. But listen,
they're scattering. So, but yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate you coming up and sharing that wisdom. Like I said, I knew you had patience, and now it makes even more sense why you do. So I
yeah.
appreciate you.
Still waters run deep. All right, bro. Take care. Have
Absolutely.
a
I'll
great
catch you
holiday,
tomorrow.
and appreciate you.
See you, bro. 1 second. All right, I'll take a few more people. A few more people. If anyone else is an actual someone who has MAGA family members, and you're looking for a little bit of advice as far as how do you deal with your MAGA family members over the weekend, over the holiday weekend, go ahead and request up, and I'll answer those questions. We'll talk to a few more people. In the meantime, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted and things appreciated. Shout outs to Gold over on the YouTube who sent a high five. I appreciate you, Gold. Thank you so much for the high five. W's in chat for Gold. Are you a Trump therapist now? Maybe. I'm just trying to help people unlike you. Georgie, how are you?
I'm doing well, Santana. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Georgie, do you have MAGA family members?
I do. Both my parents are MAGA.
Okay. What advice would you like?
You know, they're the worst type of MAGA because they also claim to be devout Christians. And unfortunately, not only am I liberal, but I am also an atheist. So everything I say, I feel like they have a knee-jerk reaction to bring it back to their faith and tell me that I wouldn't understand.
Yeah. So I guess the question that I would have, and it's funny, like this is a question I steal from some of my friends, but like I would always say like, hey, what Christian value does Donald Trump uphold more than, Kamala Harris, right? Or you can even talk about Donald Trump as a whole as far as his faith, right? Donald Trump has been on the record saying that he's not a Christian. He's on the record as far as saying that he's never repentant. And then also, like you talk about the actual like Christianity, the Bible, the religion, like Donald Trump doesn't walk like Jesus, right? And the idea of Jesus Christ and the principles of his teaching and all this other stuff, like Donald Trump doesn't live any of those things. And so the idea that this man who doesn't uphold any of the Christian values is going to be the catalyst to spearhead Christianity throughout the country. I mean, honestly, he's more of the whore of Babylon than he is of like any type of prophet. So like that's the thing.
I completely understand. And I listen to you and Parker and Dean a lot. And so you have been helpful. I've brought stuff up to him similar to what you said. Like, tell me why. Tell me how this matches with what you raised me to believe, because I'm not seeing it in any sense of the word. And it seems like you're using your faith to justify your prejudice. And anytime that comes around, they shut down completely.
But because their faith is a part of their identity.
Right.
Once you start to attack their faith, then you're attacking them personally. And as your parents, they probably don't want to get into a shouting match, but like you're now attacking their personality. So what I would say, instead of necessarily even talking about their faith, I would let Donald Trump talk about their faith. I will talk about how Donald Trump, again, has been adamant about not being Christian. Donald Trump has even like the head or the member that he appointed to his like faith leadership board, one of his personal evangelicals was actually just found he owned he started the mega church in Texas. He was just found guilty for being a PDF file, right? like these are the people that Donald Trump is putting around him, and at the same time, these people are enriching themselves but not helping people. They're not living by the teachings, and so I would stay away from like attacking their overall faith, and just focus on how like Donald Trump is attacking their faith. And I would say like, hey, if you are a Christian, if you do believe in your faith, then you should be upset that this man is sitting here trying to use your faith for his own gains while not actually living up to what your faith says.
That's actually a great way to approach it. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but don't like down them in their faith, because then they're going to shut down for sure. But say like, hey, this guy's actively attacking your faith.
Right. And call me crazy, but I would say it's a true Christian's responsibility to be at the front of the line calling behavior like that out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Well-
and again, you say, hey, like it's your duty to watch out for false prophets, right? Like we know this. Also, tell them to check out like the story in Revelations with the beast with the wounded head, like the three-headed beast with the wound, and then the tongue and that keeps talking, and then like the where's the mark of the beast over the head. Like it's a whole thing. Like it's a whole thing that kind of really, if they read it and they're willing to read it and they start thinking about Trump, it's a lot of parallels. Like I wish, damn it, where's Jeff? Is Jeff here? Jeff isn't here. Jeff tells the story in Revelations. I would have to find that, but like, yeah, like it's a lot to say about that. But Trump is in Revelations. Long story short.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. All right. No, it's not the Antichrist. I can't remember. I would have to look up the Revelation story. It's a beast. It's not the actual Antichrist. It's an actual beast in Revelations. Anyway, anyone else? Anyone else? Last call for alcohol. Yeah, it's the beast in Revelations. It's not the Antichrist. All right. Since there's no one else, I'm gonna pack it up. Today wasn't awesome. Now, like the guests sucked. Yeah, I said it. Maga, you guys suck. So, anyway. David, are you a Trump supporter? David, are you a Trump supporter? David. Hey, what is this? Does anyone know what this is? Hold on. Had to wet my whistle. Yeah, you guys got it. You guys got it. No, it wasn't Sanford and Son. It was Andy Griffin. Yeah, you guys got it. All right, we're gonna go. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. He's from your hometown. Did anyone know the one that I was doing earlier? Yes, Jessica, you guys are old, not me. Did anyone know the other one? Hold on. You guys are old. That's not me. Yes, that was I Dream of Jeannie. You said easy. Stop it. No, that wasn't Bewitched. That was I Dream of Jeannie. You guys are old. Chat. I think it's time for all of us to apply for our AARP cards. What do you think? Do we all need to get our AARP cards together? We could probably get anybody trying to go play shuffleboard with me this weekend. Anybody want to play shuffleboard? Anybody trying to catch the early bird special at Sizzlers with me? If we go by 4 o'clock, we can have dinner. Anybody want to go to Sizzlers 4 o'clock, get the early bird special with me? Yeah. All right. You want to go to bingo? I'll do bingo. You ain't said nothing but a word. I'll play some bingo now. Listen. 4 is late. 4 is late. 4 is late. I think I see, like, every once in a while, I'll see like a Sizzlers in the wild. It depends on where you are. It definitely depends on where you are. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hey, these people suck today. I'm sorry that they sucked. I apologize. Cheers. Absolutely. All right, let's get out of here. L's in the chat for Noah. What up, Noah? Let's get out of here.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I love you guys. Seriously, guys, thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for keeping me company while I kept you company. You guys are amazing. I love you all. And as always, peace.